Hello, I am the Day Tradester. Every day I record my trades and my swing trading strategy. So I show you every stock that I sell or every stock that I buy for the day. And I do that every day. And I do that to show you my strategy. I show you the basics of my long-term swing trading strategy of my long-term holdings. Now today, if we take a look at today's candle, you'll see that it's a red candle. At one time, so we had opened up right around 67.30. We dropped down to 67.93. So it was roughly $40 is what we dropped, but we've come back up. We opened at an all-time high, and we currently are at an all-time high. And if the price doesn't continue down, if it continues up in the current trend, we're going to close at another all-time high in the S&P 500, just continuing to prove that this bull run just can't be stopped. There certainly are plenty of bears in the market that are trying to stop this bull run. They're trying to get it the reverse direction, but each time it starts to go down a little bit, bulls come right back in and shoot it right back up higher. So if you're not in the markets and you don't have a retirement account, I hope you open up a retirement account, and I hope you start taking control of your financial future and get on this bull ride. All right, for today, we had 6 stocks that we received some sell alerts for. And the first one that we're going to take a look at is American Express. Now, yesterday, we did sell American Express based on the continuation of the cross below the fast-moving average yesterday. And today, we're looking at a continuation of the cross below the slow-moving average. Now, we have a green candle, but price is currently lower than the close of the candle 2 days ago on this cross. However, when we have a long candle that crosses both the fast-moving average and the slow-moving average, we only count one of the crosses. So this candle from yesterday is a continuation of the cross below the fast-moving average. So now we have to count this candle as the actual cross of the slow moving average, not the long candle cross, even though 2 days ago we technically had price cross below the slow moving average. My strategy, I only count one cross a day. And the reason I only count one cross a day is sometimes when we have a long down day, or the opposite, we have a long up day, the following day price move may change direction. And if it doesn't change direction the next day, as it did not yesterday, it continued down, it may change 2 days or 3 days later. So we're now looking at a green candle, price is moving back up on us, which is not a confirmation of this cross below the slow moving average. So we will not be selling American Express unless tomorrow when we come in, we have price lower than the close of yesterday's candle. Again, when I have one candle cross both the fast and the slow moving average, I do not count both crosses. I only count one cross, and then the next day I will count that candle if price continues down as the cross for the slow moving average the next day. So the next stock we're going to look at is another bank stock. It's Bank of America. BAC. All right, so Bank of America, we do have a continuation of the price crossing below the slow moving average yesterday. So hopefully we'll be able to sell some at a profit. The current price is at $50.53. And I do have one book that I bought for $48.54. Now, when I purchased my Bank of America, I purchased 4 shares per book. So I currently have 3 books. So we're looking to sell 4 shares. And we're going to hopefully sell at 50.52. So from 50.52, from 48.54, we'll just round that to $2 a share. So there's $8 in profit on the sale of those shares of Bank of America. We have another bank stock that we received a possible sell alert on, and that's JP Morgan, JPM. And yep, we are certainly going to be selling. We had price move below the fast moving average yesterday, and we have continuation of that move of this particular cross. We also have price move below our slow moving average. However, in order to sell a book or any shares for this cross, we'll need continuation of the move tomorrow. But what we're going to look to sell, current price is at $307. So far, all of the shares that I currently own, which is 4, well, except for one, I have 3 shares that I own were purchased at roughly $298. So we're going to be selling at a profit. But we're only selling one book. Each time we have price move below either the fast moving average or the slow moving average, if we have continuation, we're looking to sell one book. And for every single company stock that I own, I always try to max out with 4 books. And however many shares I purchase for that company, I divide that by 4. So the total amount of stocks that I purchase are always divisible by 4. So I can have 4 books of shares, all with the equal amount of shares in each book. So we're looking to sell one book because we have confirmation of a downward move of the price moving below our fast moving average. So we're looking to sell one book, which for JP Morgan is 1 share. And we're going to be selling hopefully at $307.31. And the JP Morgan that I bought at $297. So there's $10 on the sell of that share of JP Morgan. All right, so the next stock we're looking at, it is not in the banking industry. It is Uber, U-B-E-R, U-B-E-R. All right, we're in Uber. So at the possible the sell alert that we received today, we had a trigger from the price moving below the fast moving average. Wait. That is today's candle. That's today's candle. That doesn't apply. We've not received this alert yet. If price closes today below the slow moving average, that will then be a trigger and that will send an alert, and we'll receive that tomorrow morning at this price moving below the slow moving average. So I misspoke there. Now we do have price continuing down from the previous 2 days move. And if I wanted to, or if you own Uber, maybe you would consider selling it, but I have a strategy with rules. And I try to stick to the rules. I'm pretty good at that. And one of the rules is that the day that price crosses, whether it's the fast moving average or the slow moving average, we wait until the next day to see if we have continuation of the move, whether it's down or in this case that it's up. Now yesterday you can see we sold one book yesterday, and that's because it was a continuation of the cross below the fast moving average. But we will wait until tomorrow to see if we're actually making a sale of another book of Uber shares. And that's it for all of our sell alerts that we received today that we absolutely could have sold possibly at a profit. Now we do have a couple that I know we will not be selling. I've already looked at the list and taken a look at those, but we will be placing sell orders possibly, unless prices moved and went the opposite direction and has moved up on us. The first one we're going to take a look at is CrowdStrike, CRWD. Okay, now that I'm into the CrowdStrike chart, it is not the sell orders that I'm going to be placing. I didn't make good notes on my list. Sorry about that. So what we're doing is we're removing one of the limit orders. So if we own a stock, we own any shares, and price moves below the price that we purchased at, when we have a cross, as in what we had here, we had price move below our fast moving average, and we had a continuation. So if this was a stock that I hadn't been holding on to for any length of time, it's possible that I made a sell order based on this continuation on the move of this price crossing below the fast moving average. So anytime we have price move below either moving average, whether it's the fast or the slow, we always want to continue with our strategy. If we're able to sell, great. If not, we still want to make some type of sell order for that particular cross. And then I want to take the reverse action, which should have happened 2 days ago when we have price move back up and across the fast moving average. We want to cancel an order that we placed for the move down. And when I cancel an order, I take the highest price limit order for our sell orders that we have in place. I always leave one limit order because I day trade every single stock that I own. If price is moving up and it crosses this limit order, we'll take profits, and then at some point we'll buy back into CrowdStrike. Hopefully we'll be able to get it at a low point, hoping to sell it at a higher point in the future. So we have one more stock that we're going to look at to do the same thing, to cancel a sell order, and that is DLOCAL, DLO. And that is not the case. I need to take better notes. So there was only one stock that we are canceling our sell orders for. DLO. We actually do have a continuation of the move, possibly, for yesterday's cross of price moving below our slow moving average. Now currently we have price is higher than yesterday's close. So right now I do not consider this a true continuation because we have price is higher than yesterday's close. So later today I will take a look, and if price is lower, then we'll go ahead at that time and I will place a sell order. And the reason I would place a sell order, because the 32 shares, which is 2 books for DLO, I like to have 64 shares, which is 16 shares per book. So price currently is lower than our purchase price, so I would be setting a sell order if later today price moves below yesterday's close. So I believe now I've finished everything that I had on our sell alerts or possible removal of sell orders or the placement of sell orders. And off that list, we sold Bank of America and JP Morgan for a total of roughly $18 in gains. All right, if you're new to my videos, I have multiple strategies in here that I do in this account, and the main one that I record is my swing trading strategy, trying to teach you how to be profitable on a very basic trading strategy that just involves the crossing of moving averages. It's pretty simple. And the reason I use simple moving averages is this is for trying to teach you to open a retirement account and to trade long term. I'm not trying to teach you to invest what little money you have just to try to day trade. That it would not be a productive use of the little bit of money that you're trying to use to gain financial freedom. Another strategy is I day trade. Now I do have $2,515 available. So every time you see this is part of my day trading strategy. When you see this sell order come up, actually I had to go in and make some purchases for my day trading strategy. Now I'm maxed out with all the shares that I day trade. Well, now I've got 375. I'll be right back. I have to make a purchase. So now that I've made all of the purchase for all of my stocks that I day trade, I actually have, we'll just say $2,000 to purchase shares with. Now I did receive quite a few alerts for today on buy, and then we also have plenty from yesterday and the day before and the day before, and we even have some alerts that we didn't act on last week. So I'm going to be very selective here, and one of the stocks that I'm going to purchase is going to be Snowflake. And that you can see I've been day trading. I've day traded, I've bought 11 shares, sold 12, and I'm going to be purchasing another share. Well, actually, we're going to go ahead and max out with Snowflake. I like to purchase 4 shares, so that's 1 share per book. So we're going to go ahead and purchase 4 right now at $240.93, hopefully. So at $240.93, I have 4 shares. That's 1 share per book, so I'm currently maxed out. Okay, so I want to show you why I wanted to buy Snowflake. If you look, I'm going to draw a box. We want to add a drawing. I'm looking to draw a box here. So here, Snowflake has basically just been consolidating since September 5th. The date is down here at the bottom. So then this is the date, which is a little over 3 weeks. So for 3 weeks, we've been consolidating. Price has just been moving sideways. And typically when we consolidate like this, and then we have price break out, this is just typically, it can be assumed that this might be the beginning of a long-term upward trend. So I definitely wanted to be in this stock. So hopefully we will be taking advantage of this breakout if it indeed is a breakout. If you are watching my videos and you're learning how to trade, do some research on breakouts and patterns, do some research into Snowflake. Snowflake is a company that will be they're considered a picks and shovels of the AI growth industry. So as long as the AI boom is occurring, Snowflake will be a beneficiary of that. Thus, we also will be a beneficiary of that. But please do your own research. And if you are thinking about possibly copying my trades, then this might be one you might want to consider copying. Remember, I'm not making any recommendations because I am not a financial planner nor financial advisor. I'm not an expert in any way. So another stock I want to take a look at is MPWR, which is Monolithic Power Solutions. Now you see Monolithic Power has actually been on a pretty good uptrend. However, if we go into our monthly candle chart, you see price dropped down below our slow moving average. We had the fast moving average crossover, but then it just quickly turned back around after 2 months of being low. But it's taken another 1, 2, 3, took another 4 months for Monolithic Power to cross, and then we have a confirmed move. So I operate my monthly chart the same way I operate my daily chart. We have the cross on this month, but we didn't have the continuation until this month. And we have an absolute continuation. Price is currently higher than the close of this candle. I would like to be able to max out on this. I currently have 2 shares, and the 2 shares I have, I was holding since before Liberation Day, since before Donald Trump announced the tariffs. So it's nice that prices moved back up. I bought way back in maybe January, February. So we are going to buy at least 1 share because we typically want to take advantage of the cross on the monthly chart. When we have a cross, whether it's up or down, that can be the beginning of a long move in whichever direction the cross occurred. Like you see, we have a cross here on the monthly chart, and then we went from June of 24, and it didn't cross over until March of 25. So we're looking at almost a year. So if we had purchased back here at 529 and just held it the entire way, which we wouldn't, we typically wouldn't do, and we would have sold somewhere around 641. So we're looking at $120 of gains, which for each share that we would have had if all we do is just buy and sell at the crosses. But we don't just buy and sell at the crosses. If we weren't holding Monolithic Power prior to the downturn and the S&P 500 or these stocks as well, I would have bought here on this candle, then we would have sold, I would have bought 4, then we would have sold 1 on this continuation, then I would have bought 1 back on this continuation, so we'd have 4, and then we would have sold another one here on this continuation, and then we would have sold 1 here for the price move below our slow moving average. This continuation is for the cross of the fast moving average. This continuation, because we want price lower, would be for the price of the slow moving average. And then we would have bought back, we would have sold out completely on this candle from this cross. We had to cross here on this particular day, and then we would have possibly sold somewhere around here to sell out completely, and we would have been selling at profits. But again, typically when we have the fast moving average cross in either direction, the slow moving average, that might be the beginning of a long trend in that particular direction. I only have $1,500. I do not have $1,800 or roughly $1,900. So we're going to buy 1 share of Monolithic Power. Current price is $9.31 and or $9.30 and 11 cents. So there it is. That's what we're looking for. And we've got our Monolithic Power. So hopefully this is the beginning. Again, if you are able to purchase Monolithic Power, it's a pretty pricey stock. If you're just now starting trading, you might want to give this a pass. However, if you are feeling that you trust me and you want to copy my trades, there is a way to purchase this, and you can purchase that through Schwab Slices. You could purchase as little as $5 of a part of this share. So if you are copying my trades or you think you want to follow me, take a look at Charles Schwab or whatever brokerage you're using. Most brokerages offer fractional shares. That's what it would be. You'd be buying a fraction of a share of Monolithic Power. And every brokerage offers fractional shares for absolutely every stock that's in the S&P 500. Some brokerages even offer more fractional shares than just the S&P 500. But Schwab, basically, if it's in the S&P 500, you could purchase fractional shares. So now I'm going to cancel this sell order because this sell order is for a stock that I bought at $942. We currently have price at $930, and I want to be able to day trade this. So while I'm making videos, I'm just going to set a sell order for Monolithic Power, MPWR, and I'm going to set it for $2 higher than my purchase price. So that's $932. We'll just set it for $932.50. And then, oh, whoop, I accidentally bought. We want to sell that $931.03. Monolithic Power, sell one. So I'm doing this off on another screen. Hopefully that, all right, so we bought that at $931.03. We're going to drop this down to $930. All right, that just sold at $931.05. So we sold that Monolithic Power. So let me go in and actually do this off video. All right, so I did that off video. I've got it taken care of. I've got my sell order in, and if that sells, then we'll go ahead and buy another one to keep my day trading strategy moving forward as we make this video. I just sold CVS, which is part of a stock that I'm day trading, so I actually have 2 shares. So that would be $150. So I have $450 left to purchase another share with, or several shares, depending on the price. So another stock I want to take a look at is Advanced Micro Devices, which is AMD. All right, so Advanced Micro Devices is similar to Monolithic Power. We're still on our monthly chart. We're not on our daily chart. And you can see that we have a cross of the fast-moving average above the slow-moving average. However, I am going to purchase one more share of Advanced Micro Devices because AMD is a semiconductor company which makes microchips for computers and games and cars and cell phones. They are a competitor to NVIDIA. And they probably are going to be signing an agreement with Intel, which would boost their manufacturing capabilities. It'll onshore some of their manufacturing capabilities and take it away from Taiwan Semiconductor, which Taiwan Semiconductor is currently building factories here in the U.S., but they won't be up and running for a year or two. But in the meantime, Intel, they are also working on their manufacturing capabilities to improve their capacity to manufacture chips for companies like NVIDIA and AMD. So I'm going to ignore my strategy. As I said, I tried to stick to my strategy, but because AMD is a semiconductor and they're part of the AI revolution here, I am not going to wait for a continuation. I'm going to go ahead and max out my purchases now, and I may actually even double up on AMD when I'm able to. So currently AMD, I max out with 4 shares, which is 1 share per book. So I might double that to 8. However, I will wait to see if we actually have continuation at the end of the month. But for now, I'm going to purchase 1 share of AMD, come into our active trader, and 170.68. And I don't know what our sell ticket that we just received. I was watching what I was doing on screen here. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with Monolithic Power. I'm going to cancel this sell order. I'm going to create another order for my day trading strategy. And I purchased that AMD at what, roughly 170.60 something. So I'm going to set a sell order for $1 more while I'm making the video. So there we go. I set it for $1 more. You can see our sell order is a little bit closer to our monthly candle. However, if we expand this back out to our daily chart, we're just $1 higher. So we're going to go ahead and remove this drawing. We're going to remove the drawing, even though we don't have a true continuation of the move on the monthly chart. That That is to let me know that I probably should not be buying any stocks, but since I bought a stock and I maxed out, we can go ahead and remove that chart. If price changes direction and drops back down next month below, then we'll add that drawing back up, that indicator that lets me know that I should not be buying any stocks until the end of the month. So we still haven't bought into CVS yet. We're waiting to see prices falling a little bit. So again, that's 150. So we'll call this, I have $280 left to spend. I'll take a look at my list and see what I'm able to purchase. And so the last one we're going to take a look at, I believe I'll be able to buy, is XTL, which is an ETF for telecommunications. We had price drop below the fast moving average, which we ended up selling 2 shares. I like to be maxed out at 8. That's 2 shares per book. But we did have price cross 2 days ago. We had continuation. And we still have a further continuation, so we're going to go ahead and buy 2 more shares. And that'll get us maxed out in the ETF for XTL for telecommunications. That did not go, so we'll try it again at 145.23. All right, we're just going to go ahead and hit buy market. 144.95. Well, that's a lot better. Saved us roughly 30 cents on those 2 shares. All right, so by purchasing those 2 shares of XTL, I do not have enough money to buy my 2 shares of CVS. If that price turns around, let me take a look. So at $77, yes, that's definitely over 150, and I'm only at 139. So I am finished purchasing any stocks that I'm able to purchase for today. So we're done with our selling and we're done with our buying. All right, let's go back to our S&P 500 chart, which is SPX. See, price is still higher than yesterday's close. We're only 5 minutes out before, so it's very likely that we are going to close at another all-time high. All right, if you look here in our tab, in our sub tab, we have various prices here for the, this is a price for what the candle opened. This is the highest that price was reached for that particular candle. This is the lowest for that particular candle. This is what the candle closed. So if you look, I'll highlight the candle, and this candle closed at $6,700, 11 cent, 67.11 and 20 cent, and our current price is 67.13.17. All right, price has jumped up $2 pretty much, so it does look like we're going to make an all-time high. All right, market just closed at another all-time high of the S&P 500. Again, if you are not in this, if you don't have a retirement account or a trading account, I suggest a retirement account. If you're new to trading, you do not want to try to day trade. You do not want to try to trade and get caught with the types of taxes that you might get caught paying. If you open up a retirement account and you trade within your retirement account, you don't have to worry about tax losses, and you don't have to worry about gains from your realized gains, so you won't have any taxes to pay. But this is exciting to see such a long run. This is exciting to see, even with government shutdown, that we can still reach all-time highs in the S&P 500. Now we're going to take a look at our chart of the day, which is Coinbase, C-O-I-N. Coinbase is a cryptocurrency exchange that sometimes runs parallel with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, it went up a little bit today, but it certainly didn't go up as much as Coinbase did. I'm hoping that Coinbase went up as much as it did because it's possibly, we want to add a drawing, possibly because we might be looking at another situation where there's a little breakout. So if you look at, we're going to drop this down a bit. I need to come down here, click on here, and now I can grab this, and what we're basically doing is maybe we're looking at another area of consolidation. So maybe this is another breakout. It basically ran sideways all the way from August 11th. We can even drag this down a little bit more, pull this down to encompass all of the price action. So you can see basically from August 11th, we went nowhere. We were stuck around this range from $294 to $341. We were in the $50 range since, as I said, August 11th, and maybe this is a breakout, and maybe that's why Coinbase decided to move at a different rate than Bitcoin. Unfortunately, I only have 1 share And also, unfortunately, I do not have enough money to buy any additional shares, but let's take a look at our daily chart. 1 year, 1 day and 1 minute. We want to go to the 2-minute chart. 1 day and 2 minutes, and zoom in here. So you can see that my one share that I had, I didn't do any day trading from the beginning of the day because I had been holding on to that one share of Coinbase probably for 5 or 6 months. Actually longer than that, 8 months. We're looking at back in January and February when I purchased the Coinbase. And then Trump announced his tariffs and the market dropped drastically. And along with that went my Coinbase shares. But around 2 o'clock today, actually while I was recording the video, my one share of Coinbase actually sold, and I bought back in, and then I started day trading while I was making the video, and we made a little bit more money than if we were just holding on to it, because day trading we try to buy, maybe we'll buy at the bottom of a candle and then we'll sell at the top of the candle. And you can see we bought 371.93, sold one of them at 372.25. Same thing here. We bought at 372.50 and sold at 373. So, but now that I actually look at my purchase points and my sell points, I actually would have made a little bit more money if I had just held on to it until after making the videos. And that's not too disappointing because that does happen sometimes. The overwhelming majority of the time, we end up making more money by our day trades than just holding long. But Coinbase had a great day today, as well as many other stocks. And the reason Coinbase was chosen is I don't just pick the best performing stocks or the best performing charts with the best performing stocks for the day. I try to pick stocks that it's stocks I actually own. So in the future, if you choose to make some of the trades that I make, then you would be participating in the gains of our specific charts of the day. So our total gain for the day, we're looking at basically 352 to 370. We'll just round that down to $20. So we're looking at a $20 gain today. So if you had Coinbase and you had a lot of Coinbase, good job. I know you were happy to see this climb today. So we'll go back to our standard chart, 3 month and 1 day. We'll go back to our SPX, S&P 500. And now we will take a look at what our actions actually were, what we bought and sold. So we sold Bank of America, JP Morgan, and we bought Snowflake, Monolithic Power, AMD, and the ETF XTL. All in all, it was a great day. Stock market went up. My portfolio balance went up. I sold quite a few shares. I actually had a good day in the market today in my day trading activities, and we'll go ahead and take a look at those now. So, like I said, I had a really good day today. I made $806.84. Now, all of that except roughly $18, which we sold earlier. Excuse me, that $18 is from stocks that we sold earlier, which was Bank of America and JP Morgan. So again, $806.84. The overwhelming majority of that is from my day trading. Now, my portfolio performance to date, since I opened this account on August 19th, we are looking at a total of 7.35% compared to the S&P 500 at 4.84%. And if we combine this account with the old account, now, all of the funds in the new account were transferred from the old account, and up till August 18th, it was performing at 16.26%, and the S&P 500 was at 10.54. So the combined totals for my portfolio is 23.61% year to date, compared to the S&P 500 at 15.38%. Which means I am performing 8.23% better than the S&P 500 year to date. Remember, this video is basically for swing trading strategy. That's what I'm trying to teach and show you. Instead of trying to show you my day trading, the overwhelming majority of you, 99.9% of you, would not be able to make the day trades that I make. So the video is geared for those of you who either can trade early in the morning or maybe a little bit during work, but mainly after work, where you can come home, you can check out my videos and possibly see what I did and then do some research to see if you want to make the same trades. And the reason I showed swing trading videos is because if you see my video a day or 2 or 3 days later, you still might be able to purchase or sell that particular stock or those stocks that I show in the videos. The purpose of a swing trade is we're trying to find a stock that we can buy at some point, and it might run for days or weeks or even months at a time. This is a 3-month run of the S&P 500. And that's the important part about the swing trading. If you miss a video a day or two, you can more than likely easily either copy a trade if you like, if you've done the research and you feel like I've made a good decision, and either the sell or the purchase of any share, you can still possibly purchase that and still copy, if you will, that trade with me. Remember, my goal is to help people become more profitable. Either A, you learning my strategy and starting off with that and then expanding and making your own strategy, or possibly copying the trades that I make if you trust me enough. If you've done enough research and you've gone back and looked at some of my videos, and then you've looked at the history since I made those trades and how they performed, or how much money I made, what my gains ended up being, and you feel I'm making good trading decisions, thus you choose to quote unquote copy me. My goal is to help you make money. That is the end goal that I want to achieve with you. The way I feel, if I'm making money in the stock market, so can you. But you have to be wise, you have to be smart, you have to be patient. This isn't a get rich quick. I'm not showing you my day trades because more than likely you can't do those day trades with me. So with that, if you feel that I am creating a quality video and providing good information for either you or anybody else to follow, please feel free and like, share, and subscribe these videos, and let your friends, family, co-workers also know about my videos so I might be able to help them. Thank you very much. I hope you have an awesome day. Have an amazing rest of your Thursday afternoon.